Space whales? Nope, rather deal with devils. Chapter 75e, Fan Fiction by Azazyel. Or in the wise words of a martyr. I am going to make a name for myself. Sure, Tang San and the rest of his goons may ascend to godhood in a couple of years or whatever. But it doesn't matter what they do and accomplish. When everyone will be asking, why aren't all your spirit rings gold or at least red like Jake's were? But as we kept going through the forest, I blinked as another powerful soul's projected power slammed into me, making me grunt with effort as a howling roar of fury rang out. Ah-oh. She is awake again. Xuanyu said in horror before hissing. Jake, teleport now. Flee away from the forest. I spun in place as I activated another teleport sigil, and I was sent out of the Heavendoe forest. And I grimaced as it felt like space itself was like syrup and so much thicker as I fled the area. Keep going. She can follow your spatial signature. Binya howled, and then even as I created another portal from the planes I had teleported to send me back to the extreme north, several thousand miles away. I choked as space itself was frozen. My DXD teleportation magic was completely unable to teleport through the rock-solid spatial sea surrounding me that had turned into a damned mountain in density. Human. Die. A feminine voice howled, and I summoned up my life hunt scythe with Xuanyu's spirit ring activating with a howl as I pulled at my full power. An utterly massive fucking stupidly huge dragon bigger than literal mountains had silently ridden my spatial tunnel and teleported in behind me. Her scales were of silver and purple gems that sparkled with the sun's glare, and her purple-slitted eyes glared at me with hate for the mere affront of existing. Die. She snarled with the massive dragon's claws smashing down towards me. Silver Dragon King. Have mercy, please. I heard Xuanyu yell out, but I didn't hesitate. I activated my mystic eyes of death perception to see the many lines of death across her body. I stomped on the ground and pulled at all my magical power with a massive spear of ice shooting up from the ground, making who I realized would be Gu Yuna. Tens of thousands of years later, On gets pushed back as the ultimate Citri ice shattered on her scales. Using elemental powers on me. How foolish, and how dare you, a spirit beast work with a human? She hissed, but there was no hiding the confusion in her gaze as she seemingly sensed the spirit beasts within myself. Holding up my life hunt Sikthy in warning, I finally spoke calmly as I resisted the divine might of the shattered dragon god power. My name is Jake Barris, and I am not even from this world, as you can probably tell with how I can teleport without the use of a spirit ring nor even being a god. My power overflowed as I glowed with chilling blue energy, along with 9 tails of excessive life force blooming from my back as I fell into sage mode that I inherited from my bond with Yasaka. You will not kill me without dying yourself, Silver Dragon King. I calmly stated as 2 other martial spirits in the heavenly evil sea covered the ground, and my seal of Solomon's chains ran up my off arm that wasn't holding the scythe. There was a pause as Gu Yuna looked at me and the martial spirits before she said darkly. You aren't from this world. Your body is like the child of the divines, but different. Your very elemental alignment and channeling isn't something this universe has. To which I replied calmly as I knew this was my make or break time. That is correct. I don't want any trouble from you, nor am I hunting spirit beasts besides defending myself. And she glared at me for mentioning the hunting of spirit beasts with Tian Meng's voice reaching out as his golden spirit ring formed behind me, and I saw Gu Yuna shrink back at seeing the million-year cultivation ring. Silver Dragon King. My partner has no bad blood with you or the spirit beast race. He is, if anything, helping us greatly with the method we learned in making artificial spirit rings from spirit souls. That humans can absorb from having absorbed a tiny portion of a spirit beast's soul clone or something to that effect. Gu Yuna's eyes tightened, hearing that, and I said. We can prove it even now. I am already at level 30 now with my cultivation, so I can absorb another spirit ring from the Ice Empress and Snow Empress. There was a pause before Gu Yuna said calmly. Show me then. Her large draconic form lounged in place with her purple eyes lancing into me as she stared. My lips twitched before I spoke mentally. You guys ready to make another spirit ring? And Xuanyu said with a bit of annoyance. Yes, I will make you another one. But I will need a couple of weeks, if not a full month, to recover my origin, as I just incarnated my soul into your own after all. Thank you, Xuenu, I said out loud as the Snow Empress's spiritual and soul energy filled the surroundings, and I could see Gu Yuna's eyes tightening as she saw the sight of another red spirit ring forming. But as it formed, I looked at Gu Yuna and asked bluntly. So, will you swear to not attack me while I absorb this? Swearing on your pride as a spirit beast, the beast god, and the dragon god lineage itself? Gu Yuna gave me a dark look with her soul pressure waving over me like an ocean's tidal wave. But I just raised an eyebrow even as I resisted the literal divine power. I had fucked Yasaka and Seraphol. I wasn't someone who would just fold over in the face of a powerful goddess or whatever Gu Yuna technically was. There was a pause before she snorted and said flatly. I am not so craven. I also want to see if you will explode as merely a level 30 wretch dare consume 100,000-year spirit ring. And I just grinned as the spirit ring flew into me. As I just stared into Gu Yuna's eyes as blood leaked from my nose and mouth as my frankly overstressed body from all the bullshit that had happened was telling me to fucking take a rest. But my body didn't fail me. I felt the next spirit ring slot into place within my life hunt Sikthi, and the spirit ring's knowledge hit my mind. Freezing Dimension Cutter. By freezing spatial energy on the edge of the life hunt Sikthi, the user can create gashes in space and launch the spatial tears at foes, or step into the spatial tear should the user cut deep into space to create another cut on the other side where the user wants to go. And as I held up my life hunt side, another large red spirit ring formed behind my back with Gu Yuna's eyes staring at me blankly as I quickly drank a vial of Phoenix tears and healed myself with the great healing spell I snagged from Aqua. So, I drew off as I quickly healed my body and bought some time as Gu Yuna drew back into her cold persona. There was a long pause as the Silver Dragon King stared at me before she said slowly. Don't kill any 100,000-year-old spirit beasts for a spirit ring. And I won't come after you. After all, you aren't even from this universe, so you technically aren't even human. She continued firmly with her nodding as though having come to a fucking mind-blowing comprehension that just made me deadpan at her. Yeah. I am totally an alien. I said dryly, with Gu Yuna giving me a bland look, somehow with her massive draconic face that showed how little she cared for my opinion. So I shrugged and said plainly. Well, since neither of us are dying today, I am leaving now. I got another spirit beast to convince to be my spirit soul, and I am going to go spoil the next 100,000 years of life for Tion with my outside knowledge. There was a long pause before the Silver Dragon King's aura bound me in place, making my eye twitch as she hissed as I broke her spatial bindings with the life hunt scythe. What do you mean? Do you know the future with being an outsider to this universe? I gave her a dry look before I shrugged and decided to be a shameless asshole, knowing I wasn't even lying and no one could call me out on it. Yup, I literally know everything to happen to everyone of note. I know the Golden Dragon King, your opposite, has been draining the divine spirit beasts of the divine realm of energy, and in another couple of dozen millennia, he will come to devour you to get the other half of the dragon god's power. I could feel the spirit beasts within myself perking up as only Tian Meng had really delved into my memories all that much, and he, with his countless millennia, took the information that fictional universes were real, just as any imagined universe was real due to the omniverse being endless. And he didn't mentally break down or anything. He was just a based sky dreamworm and asked if he got with his waifu Binger in the main timeline, and hearing that yes, it did happen. He was a-okay with sticking with me through thick and thin. So I recommend you to Actually, you are actually completely fucked as you can't break through the world's strength limit. Well, enjoy your next couple dozen millennia, Silver Dragon Queen. And with that, I broke through her spatial pocket with the new spirit ring that I was already falling in love, as I knew it would be a lifesaver when dealing with asshole gods and other entities back in the world of DXD that wouldn't want me teleporting away. But the Silver Dragon King in Gu Yuna was a dragon goddess whose domains were the control of elemental energy. Meaning my teleport only resulted in a fucking massive dragon chasing me across the world through a series of high-speed teleports as I tried shaking off the damned haughty dragon woman. Until finally her anger, frustration, and annoyance at being incapable of locking down space around me anymore boiled over with her yelling out. Wait, damn it. You owe me answers.